I'm Monsignor Jamie, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Bread, where we bring those most important ingredients together: friends, family, faith, and of course, food. Today we have Gaetano Iacono, an actor. He played in over 26 movies. He's a realtor, but he also likes to cook. So today I'm going to put my skills aside and I'm going to ask him to prepare something. So don't go away. We have a great episode in store for you today. Welcome back to Breaking Bread. Today we have with us Gaetano Iacono, 26 movies, realtor, but a great cook.
Hi, I'm Gaetano Iacono. I'm a real estate agent for the New York tri-state area. My home base is Staten Island and Brooklyn, New York. I'm also an actor. I dabble a bit. Today, I'm going to take you back to my childhood. We're going to make pasta con lenticchie, pasta with lentils. It's kind of like a lentil soup. And I guarantee you that I can flip the pan better than you. Guarantee you I can flip the pan better than you. So we're gonna flip that food around. We'll see who ends up with anything outside the pan on the top of the stove, me or you. How's that sound? That's a challenge.
Gaetano, how are you?
Hi, Monsignor.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
26 movies, huh?
26 movies.
Name one.
Doughboys
Okay.
was one of them.
All
That's one where I had a leading role in. And
Great.
I've had small parts in 26 movies.
Okay.
By no means am I a celebrity.
TV
but
shows?
I'm working on it. TV shows, network, and independent stuff combined. I was on the Christmas show, Catholic Network as well.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I played Santa.
Okay.
You know,
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. But I do my best. I'm trying. When I have an opportunity, I take it. And until then, I sell houses because we have to pay the bills.
Oh, we got to pay the bills, right? And real estate is a hot market today.
Real estate is very
You're in
hot
Brooklyn?
today. Well, I'm in Staten Island. My services cover all of Staten Island and South Brooklyn.
Okay.
Anything close to the Verrazano Bridge up until about 2.5 to 3 miles in. And then I kind of feel like I'm not serving my client correctly if I take something that's a little further than that.
Right.
I have to be able to get there.
Well, most of the people in Staten Island are from Brooklyn anyway.
Right. Everyone, the Brooklyn transplants. Well,
Yes.
I'm a transplant myself.
Sure.
I grew
know.
up in Bensonhurst.
Like most Italians, then they moved to Staten Italy.
Staten Italy, that's correct.
So anyway, tell me, how did you get involved in acting?
It was accidental. I never thought I'd be an actor. It happened late in life. It's not like my family is of actors. One day, I was looking at the Staten Island Advance, and they were filming a movie that they needed Italian character actors in. And I was like, hey, I could do this, you know. I didn't think anything of it, put the paper out on the table. At the time, I had a house upstate New York.
Okay.
And I still do. But I was going back and forth with my dad doing repairs, you know, because it was like a handyman. And when I came back, I asked my wife where the paper was because I wanted to give it a shot. She told me that
She threw it
in the trash. Of course. I went outside, I went through the trash because the recycle hadn't passed yet. I pulled the paper out, I missed the audition. But God intervened.
Okay.
I made a phone call, I called the people, I explained my story, they were very nice. Something about my voice told her that I would fit the role. She said, why don't you go down, they're gonna have a second call. Go down, tell them I sent you there. And that's how my career started. They took me as an extra. I worked, I followed the film around for about 3 weeks. When the film came out, I didn't even see myself. It motivated me to do more.
Oh,
and that's how my acting career began.
So you can thank your wife for throwing out that paper.
I could thank my wife, I could thank anyone that had a hand in it.
Sure.
Know?
So the acting career, your realtor, you know, that's, you know, obviously a very big lucrative business today. How'd you get involved in cooking?
Cooking, I got just because being around my family. When I was young, we really didn't have much.
Right.
Food brought us together. We were happy when we were all at the table, whether it was for a birthday party or a Sunday afternoon or just in general. Food was the staple in our life that kept us together. And, you know, we made foods that weren't very expensive because, you know, we couldn't afford to eat the fancy things.
A lot of pasta.
Lots of pastas. Polenta,
right, all those things.
Vegetables, lots of vegetables. We lived very close to 86th Street Market, which have, and it still does have, all the fruit vendors. It was a great time. My mom would go to the market, get a half a pound of Romano beans and snap them up, saute an onion and make some pasta with beans.
And that was
it.
Exactly.
And it was delicious. And
it filled everyone up.
And it filled everyone up.
And then some. Everyone was, you bring your friends home. There was always enough, no matter what.
We never were without food. We always had some way, somehow, even if it was just pasta with garlic and oil, there was always food for everyone.
Okay.
Always. God bless my mother. The first thing, you know how an Italian says hello when you walk in the house, right?
Sit down, eat.
or did you eat?
Did you eat?
Did
right?
you eat?
Did you
right.
eat? Right.
So today what we're going to do, we're going to make lentil pasta con lenticchia.
Yes.
It's a lentil soup. And traditionally in my family, and I'm sure other families, they would have lentil on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
Kind of kick off the new year, to start it right, good luck, good health and all that. So I'm not sure if it's true or not, but I do it anyway, just in case.
Oh, sure. I mean, every family, depends what region they came from. They had the tradition. Some people have sausage on New Year's Eve.
That's
Some
correct.
people have
That's another thing we
lentils.
do.
Everyone had a different tradition. It was something that they, held on to, and it's something they brought to this country with them. And it's something that hopefully they'll pass on to their children, because that's so important.
Correct.
It comes down to faith. You would have lentils so that you would have food for the year. It's like placing your trust in God. And faith is so much a part of every, family, especially Italian families. And by uniting their faith and their traditions together, where do they do it? At the table. And I'm sure faith was very much part of your family growing up as well.
We were very religious. My grandmothers were in church every Sunday. Yeah. They walked around with the rosary.
What parish were they in?
We were in St. Mary Mother of Jesus Parish on 85th Street.
Right, okay.
That's my home. Yeah. When I walk in there, I smell the air in that parish. I feel like I walked into my own house.
Sure.
I served as an altar boy there for a few years. It was a great time in my life. Going back to that time in my life brings me back to a time where I was, not that I'm not surrounded by love now, but there was a lot of love. All the people that I loved were still alive.
Yeah, sure.
And I remember like it was yesterday. The house that I lived in, we had a driveway and we had one of those roll-out windows that kind of rolled out like a fan. And if you had it at the perfect angle, it was like a mirror. So I would look down that mirror, I would hear the wrought iron gate snap open in the sidewalk, and I would look out and I would see my grandmother coming in, my dog would run up.
Sure.
It's just a wonderful memory, I wish we could go back.
I know, it's a lot of that neighborhood, that sense of community. Everyone looked out for one another.
We really did.
Where'd you go? We had no money. We couldn't go on trips. We stayed in the alleyway. We stayed on the stoop at night. We protected each other. No.
We went on trips. You know what we used to do? We used to go on a trip to New Jersey, buy tomatoes to make the sauce.
Yeah, that was the trip.
That was the trip.
We used to take the train to Rockaway, we used to go out to Bayville. Yeah. Like you said, fun times, great memories, but it kept us together. And where were we always around? The table. Breaking bread, food. You're going to prepare something. I'm going to step aside on this episode. I'm going to let you prepare something. You prepare pasta lenticchia, right?
Pasta lenticchia.
Okay.
It's very simple,
good.
very inexpensive.
We're going to take a break and we'll come back.
Okay.
We're going to take a break right now, and Gaetano is going to prepare this pasta lenticchia, a traditional Italian meal that we used to have every Friday night. So don't go away. Welcome back to this episode of Breaking Bread, and we have Gaetano here with us, an actor, realtor, but he's also a cook. Should I say chef or cook?
I'm a home cook.
Home cook. All right. So now I'm gonna step aside, and you're gonna prepare this meal for us, pasta lenticchia. Pasta with lentils, right?
Correct.
So what do you have there?
I have some olive oil in the pan, nice and hot. And what we're going to do is we're going to add some onions, celery, and carrots.
Okay.
I think it's called a mirepoix.
Mirepoix. Celery, onion, and carrot. Okay. Mirepoix. That's the traditional
soup base.
Yeah, exactly.
Go.
Okay.
Okay.
A little salt.
Tiny bit of salt, not too much.
Okay.
And a little bit of black pepper.
A little more. I like pepper.
You like a little more? Okay,
I like it spicy.
More. There we go. Boom.
And at the end, I'll put a little hot pepper. I like it spicy.
Bless. Okay.
So now what do? You saute that for a while?
We want to blend the flavors in and let the juices come out
Right,
a little
right.
bit because we're going to add it in to our lentils that we have boiling
Okay.
back there, and this flavor is going to
So
kind
we
of
have
marry
you have-
into it.
You have boiling
Chicken stock
Okay.
and lentils, being that we
So these are the dried lentils in the package. People
dried
can buy.
lentils
Right,
in the package that you buy for $1.99 in the bag, you know.
Right.
So we're just going to let this go until they soften up, and then once they soften up,
If you want to
we're
put a
gonna-
little more olive oil, you can. I only put a little in when we started, but now that you're taking over, I don't want to interfere, you know.
You're making me nervous.
Some people say that, you know, I always have to put my 2 cents in all the time.
Perfect. What do you think?
Yeah, I think now it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have all those flavors blending together,
They're all
and
coming together nice. My mouth is watering
Yes.
already just thinking about it.
those flavors, you can't help but just think of your childhood, right? Waking up to those smells.
Those smells, it's funny you should say that. I'm going to share something with you. Sundays, Italians,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, central air conditioning wasn't a big deal.
Oh, no.
Right? Okay, so I lived very close to 86th Street by St. Mary's Parish, and one of the things that my parents would do to help a child jump out the nest was say, "Va prende il pane," go get the bread.
Go get the
right?
bread.
So they used to give me $1, and I used to come home with 2 loaves of bread back in those days. So I would go, and I would walk down the street, and everyone would have their windows cracked open. And it's Sunday, and all you smell is all the sauteed onions and garlic.
And these things bring
everybody's
back all those memories.
Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Now,
do
while
that.
this is simmering, what do you have over there? You have your lentils in there?
So we have about a pound of lentils in 12
Okay, you better go
cups
simmer
of
that.
stock.
You better go stir that
Let's go
because
check
it's
it
going to overboil in about a minute.
So the reason that we're starting the lentils beforehand is we want them to soften up a bit because they're dry in the package.
Right.
So we want them to start to soften up a bit. They don't take that long, and I wasn't quite sure on the time. I didn't want to have a race between the pasta and the lentils, so we're making sure that we get them nice and soft before we add it in.
Okay. So, what do you have? Any acting jobs coming up?
Well, you know, I don't have one coming up, but we are waiting for an episode of Twisted Fiction to come out, which is a horror series that I'm involved with. And I just did a couple of episodes of a show called Gravesend that's
Okay.
being shot around the area in
Of
Brooklyn.
Gravesend, Brooklyn,
Of Gravesend,
okay.
Brooklyn. I have a couple of small roles in 2 episodes, and my character's still alive, so I can possibly be called back
Oh,
in.
okay.
So let's pray. You know,
So that's
that
the-
it
that's
becomes
interesting.
something big. I like the acting. I don't chase it as much as I used to because I've come to realize that there are more important things in life, and if God wants me to have something, it will just happen.
Yes.
You know.
Well, putting
of
your
course,
faith
you
in
have to
yeah.
put in a little work, but
Sure. We can only respond to God's call, and we do our best, and the rest we have to leave in God's hands.
that's all I can do.
But we have to respond, and a lot of times we don't. You know, we want to respond to the things that we want to respond to, but sometimes we're called in a different direction, and we have to just believe that change is hard. So sometimes when we're called in a different direction, we're a little hesitant. But like you
I
went
tried
into
my best.
acting, you tried, and look what it came out of it.
Yeah, we're still at it. We're still at it, and I have faith. I'm not saying that's the first thing I pray for, but that's one of the things that I pray happens in my life.
Right.
I don't know what it is, actually. I don't know if I want the world to accept me. I don't know if there's something missing in my soul. I don't know why I'm chasing it. Sure, maybe in the future I might not want it as much, but at the moment right now,
Right.
I think that's what I want most.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, what are you going to do with this? We're going to
Okay. This here, I
have to
think we're about
saute.
ready. Maybe we can drop it in the
Okay.
broth.
Well, we're going to take a break. So you have to, when you're going to turn in the pasta first, what do you have to do first?
Well, we could probably put both of this in the
Okay, so
same
why don't you
time.
put that in there?
Okay.
And while we're putting in there, we'll take a little break.
Sounds
Okay.
like a plan. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. He's taking my line away. See you then. Welcome back to Breaking Bread, and I have Gaetano here in my kitchen, and he's cooking up pasta lendique, his own recipe, and I hope it is as good as mine. I don't know, Gaetano, what do you think?
Might be better.
Let's see.
I'll be right back with
It
a
smells
spoon.
good, let me tell you. Oh, wow. So now, I like to put a little grated cheese, right?
You can put a little grated cheese. I like to put a drop of olive oil. Do you like
Oh,
olive oil?
I like that too.
Right on top, just a
Little
little
cheese?
drop. Yes, please.
You watching your salt?
Not really. Right around the edge.
I don't know about you, but I like a little hot pepper.
All that you can keep. All righty.
Now let's mix it up a little bit. It's a little hot.
Yeah, be careful. If
Let's
I burn my tongue, God punish me. What do you think?
Very good. And I like that you cook the pasta and the lentils together because you get all the flavor from that, the water, the starchy water, but all the flavors, you know, you're not throwing away all that flavor when you get rid of the boiling water. Very good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a 9.
Oh,
So tell me, Guy, what about your family? You have children?
I have 2 children.
How old are they?
My daughter is 26 years old. My son is 24 years old.
Okay, 2 years apart.
My son is a fireman.
Oh,
not
you
very
know-
far from this parish.
Really?
You know, this is Williamsburg.
This is
right?
Williamsburg.
But
I'm the
he's in-
fire chaplain
Are
for
you?
the city of New York. Yes, I
Oh
just
my
became the
gosh!
fire
All right. Well,
chaplain,
he's
yes.
brand new.
Tell him to come and see
He's
me.
a probie. He's a probie.
Probie, as they
And
call.
he is with the Guardians of Greenpoint,
Yes.
right next door.
Yeah, sure.
And my daughter is a cashier supervisor in Home Depot. She loves it.
Great. And your wife is a stay-at-home?
My wife, unfortunately, nowadays it's very hard to stay at home.
No, I know.
The expenses to live in New York
Oh,
is
I
just
know.
you can't stay at home,
Yeah.
which is another story in itself. You know,
Especially
but-
when she has a husband who's an actor, because I know they don't
because
work
we're
all the
starving
time.
actors. I don't get much work as an actor. Thank you very much. What a nice guy. Okay. But anyway, you know, God bless my wife. My wife she works for the library system.
Okay.
She's approaching retirement age. We're at a point in our lives where we're not sure the next few years. We have some moves and decisions to make.
Right. Well, you're a man of faith. You got to put it in God's hands.
That's right. That's
and sometimes,
right.
you know,
I do that.
You know, put it in God's hands and everything will work out. Sometimes, you know what they say, man plans and God laughs. You know, sometimes.
At me.
No, at all
Look
of
at
us.
him.
No, at all of us. But I mean, you should be proud of what you do. First of all, I mean, you're a good husband, a good father. You're a faithful man. Well, Gaetano, thank you for coming here today. I really enjoyed having you on our show because you captured everything that this show is about. You talked about family. You talked about your faith. You talked about sharing life with your friends, and you love to cook. And all those things that you said, first of all, brought back a lot of memories to me as a child and growing up, but everything you said came from the heart. And I think that's something that's missing today. When you speak from the heart, you can't go wrong. And I encourage you to continue doing what you do. I mean, acting is something, you know, we all need a little entertainment. We need a diversion from our lives and the stressful world in which we live. And God has called you to this. Living out your vocation in many ways as a father, a husband, an entertainer, and a cook.
Thank you.
So thank you for being with us today.
quite an honor.
All right.
Thank you
God
very
bless you.
much.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Breaking Bread. And as I said to Guy, you know, everything he said came from the heart. And I think today more people have to speak what's in their heart. And I think a lot of times we're a little afraid to say what we say today because we may offend someone or hurt someone. But when you have love in your heart, you have God in your heart, anything you say has to be good. So God bless you. See you next time on Breaking Bread.